Hi, friends. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Hello APGD, a neighborhood podcast about the Audubon Park Garden District in Orlando, Florida. I'm your host, Michael Lothrop, and today we'll be speaking with Ashley Coggins of East End Market, located at 3201 Corinne Drive. If you can't make it into East End, you can also visit them online at eastendmkt.com or on Instagram and Facebook. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, or if you'd like to be a sponsor, please feel free to message me on Instagram at HelloAPGDPod. Thank you for listening. And with me today is Ashley Coggins, the general manager of East End Market.
Hello. Thank you for having me on here.
Hi, Ashley. Thank you for being here. It's so good to see you. So, East End Market is a neighborhood market and food hall. Has the best ramen in town, arguably.
Yes.
What is your elevator speech for East End Market?
Oh, my elevator speech. Okay. So basically, we're a culinary food hub with retail, and we like to be the kind of place where you either come on your vacation and stop in and say hello and see what we have to offer in the cool part of Orlando. I feel like Audubon is like the Brooklyn of Orlando to me.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We have a lot of like really great offerings of people from different walks of life. And you also have people that have been here for a long time. So I like when people come from other places to see us, especially from the iDrive district and, the theme parks, so they can get a taste of real Florida neighborhoods and what we have going on. And also we like to be part of people who live in the area, especially in our neighborhood here of Audubon and also Baldwin and the other surrounding neighborhoods we want to be part of your day. So if you come and meet a friend for coffee, or if you're stopping in to get a sweet treat to take to a hostess gift for somebody or a plant or something, it's great that people are there as regulars that we see either to stop in or they come and spend their mornings or afternoons with us or even their dinners for their evenings with us. I love that we're part of something in this community where someone makes us part of their day, whether it be a vacation or just an ordinary day of just life. So I really enjoy that.
I love that. What a great elevator speech. That's probably the best I've ever heard.
Thank you.
So some of the vendors in East End, Lineage, which does coffee and truly some of the best coffee in town as well.
Yes, and they have new pastries now that they're rolling out. That is a new thing with croissants, and they have it's like these open I don't know how to describe them, with goat cheese and raspberries, and I don't know. It looks really good though.
Wow. That's perfect timing because Old Hearth had some of those pastries, and now we have, somebody else coming in. And that's the nice thing about East End Market is the idea is kind of having an incubator space. Some of the merchants stick around for the long haul. Some of them branch out and have other locations. Gideon's now has a location at Disney Springs,
right?
Which used to be downtown Disney, which is very exciting. It's all about kind of the beginnings and the progression of these small businesses, especially food businesses.
Absolutely. And too, recently with the Michelin, being in town, Sunny from Domu just got a bib award for that. And
I saw that.
Papa
Congratulations.
Llama as well. They were in our kitchen. They started out popping up with us. And it's just so wonderful to see people accelerating that way and exploding into the food scene here in Orlando and having them get the notable, prize for that.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful to see it. Same with Gideon's going to Disney Springs. It's like having your child go off to college. You're like, oh my goodness, I remember you coming to my office with cookies. Say, can you try these? And I'd like to try to have a spot at East End, and then look at them now. It warms your heart to see somebody just break the ceiling and just go for it. And people who are, Mary from Winter Park Biscuit, bringing in a vegan menu along with Skybird, both of them having different offerings, and being able to, have collaboration with stuff like that to offer people who have a different lifestyle that they can have cool food too.
Right. And it's all quality minded, made as best as possible. I remember when Lineage got their start, roasting coffee, they were so detailed about it and took a long, long time, like figuring out the different beans, the roasts, that entire thing. I mean, they would nerd out about coffee in the best way possible. And it shows. I mean, you taste their coffee and there's not really anything like it in town.
I agree. I totally agree. And I'm not even a coffee drinker, but I do drink their coffee when it's iced coffee.
Wow.
They gave me like my first real adult coffee beverage of my life, and it changed me. So I like it now.
It's the gateway coffee.
It is.
It'll get you started.
It sure does.
First one's free. That's awesome. And they're wonderful people too.
Totally.
And one of the important parts of it is programming and events. What are some of the bigger events that you host that bring people in from other parts of the city?
I would say our quarterly evening exchanges, where we have people that are in the building, but also we invite local artisans and food creators to come out and be there for an evening to, get a new audience perhaps, or, reoccurring if they've been here before as part of like our other programming. Jacob of Freehand Goods, he does a great job with curating all of the different people that come through for vendors. And I think it draws a lot of people and also in the community as well to come out. And, we just had the one recently in the spring and it had beautiful weather. Everybody was outside walking around and it was just good vibes all around. And it was great seeing people who may not have a brick and mortar be able to sell a good amount of their goods and get eyes on a new audience to help their following grow and help them be able to be in different places and perhaps, go to another level. So it's really great. And
it's all about that cross promotion, right? East End is really this like marketing giant of, promoting small businesses, bringing people in, getting people known and being able to grow their small businesses, which is such a special thing. I think it's a great model for other neighborhoods of just, hosting this kind of experience, really, which is very unique for the city. And it's interesting, the building itself was formerly a church, and it really is about like that congregation, bringing people in, that togetherness, that experience, and that there's something really magical about it.
I totally agree. And I've been there. I'm going on just starting my 7th year. And I just love seeing just people in the garden, just walking around and taking pictures of the flowers and seeing the butterflies just, flow in and out of it. Mm-hmm. And they just have a juice in their hand or a coffee from Lineage. And they're just walking around, just taking in just the peaceful tranquility of just nature in a city area.
Totally.
And, you have the cars of Corinne flying by, but people still just sit out there and enjoying time with their friends and families. And even if it's colleagues, for a quick lunch bite to come through, I think it's great that we have that peacefulness in the front there that has nature folded in with being in an urban place. So
absolutely. And I always see children in that garden. It's such a cool thing to watch them kind of explore it. And it's just so beautiful and inviting there. The courtyard, so many good outdoor spaces for seating and gathering. And it really is the community hub that, I think has become the envy of some other neighborhoods and has been the model for other market halls as well, in Central Florida, which is always, that's the highest form of flattery, right?
Yes.
And I did see that Scott Joseph just reviewed Winter Park Biscuit, and he talked about the line and how that is kind of some of the best, the billboard effect of driving by and seeing this line out the front of East End.
Yes.
People queue up for Winter Park Biscuit. Sometimes that line is pretty long.
Yes, definitely.
Clearly there's a demand for that, experience, that vegan cuisine. It's very indulgent. It's very wonderful. And not really any other place in town to get that sort of thing. And I know Gideon's usually has a line as well.
Yes, definitely.
So you have this sort of almost cult following of these things. It's these repeat customers, these people who are very, very passionate about the food that is at East End and that experience. Is it just magical to be there, on a daily basis? It's
balance.
Okay.
It's definitely balance.
Sure.
In the sense that, you have both of those wonderful people that own those businesses, and they're always doing something creative and cool to keep up with what people need. And it's not just about trends or anything like that. I think it's also fulfilling, like, well, if Steve likes this kind of a cookie and it's his favorite, he's going to showcase it because he likes this cookie and wants to share this with everyone. Yeah. And with Mary doing such like cool things of having a burger that doesn't just taste like any burger, you can't believe it's vegan. And people ask them on a daily basis as they're ordering. Is this vegan? Is this all vegan? Is this really vegan? I just laugh. Sure. It's all vegan. I swear.
It's amazing, right?
Right. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy what I do in the sense that we're incubating some people new in our commissary kitchens that they are in the food scene. They don't have a brick and mortar. They have to graduate out of cottage law and they have to go into being like legal and having to make more food at a bigger impact. So they need to go into a commissary kitchen, and seeing people come through there and doing so well. And then they end up opening their own brick and mortar. And you're like, wow, that's so great to be a part of something like that. That's, you know, turns out to be somebody's dream, that they're able to do that.
Right.
And see it come to fruition. And that's why I love what we do. That's one of the main things I love, you know, doing that. I love that we give back to communities whenever there's been, you know, a need for it. Tanda from La Femme, she's amazing with getting things together when there was hurricane reliefs for people or any kind of charity situation where somebody needs to raise funds for something in the community. And everybody there that I work with cares genuinely, and they make an effort to try to do something about whatever might be lacking. And I that's what I love about them. They're really good about rising to the occasion.
And that is the thing, you know, in talking to small businesses, that level of caring and that passion for what they do, you won't get that experience at any box store or any chain. It truly is, you're oftentimes talking to the people who are behind the product, who have developed it. Everybody has a hand in that process, and it's a very personal experience. And I think that more and more people are gravitating towards that experience because it is so unique and so special. And people understand that, you know, this isn't done, it's done on a very different scale. So even like pricing is going to be different. Yes. And people kind of understand that, you know, this may be not an everyday thing, but it is a treat to come and enjoy, you know, what East End has to offer.
Absolutely.
And many of the vendors had originated at farmers markets. And as you were talking about the cottage law, you know, basically you can produce certain types of food to a certain scale as long as you're not, you know, earning over a certain right. level per year. So it's not your main source of income, but you're kind of testing out recipes, you're gaining customers, you're seeing if you really want to do this in the future. And some of the vendors at East End really did start out that way. Actually, all of them started out that way. And there were some in the past that decided, yeah, this maybe isn't for me, and didn't go on to open other businesses. And then, you know, others are branching out. And it's really nice. You know, I heard a podcast interview with Steve from Gideon's about, you know, making sure that quality control is still there and still being very hands-on, and, you know, doesn't want to do the franchise thing. So that, you know, that care just continues even though they're growing outside of the East End building.
Yes, for sure.
Which is so, so cool. So what is your favorite thing about East End?
My favorite thing?
Mm-hmm. Or top 5 favorite things. Maybe.
Oh.
What's your favorite meal to get at East End?
My favorite meal?
Mm-hmm.
I really like Liz's at Skybird. She has this chickpea like salad thing she makes. It's like with dill like spice on it, and it's like all mashed up, and she puts it in a wrap. It's like a chickpea wrap with dill seasoning on it, and I love dill. So, and it's a nice healthy thing to have without having like the noon slump when you go to have like a really heavy meal. But if I was going to go and have something like indulgent, then I would probably get a burger from Winter Park Biscuit for sure, with the grilled onions and all the fancy like cheese and stuff on it, for sure.
This gives me some good ideas for lunch today. Yes. And Hinckley's Meats, his sandwiches are really exceptional. Not everybody knows that, aside from being a butcher shop, he does have sandwiches made to order there, which is wonderful. And Skybird having smoothies and other vegetarian, vegan offerings. Farmhouse or Farm and House?
Yes.
Farm and House.
Farm and House, but everyone calls it Farmhouse.
Farmhouse,
but
right.
It's Farm and House, like on the docket.
Yes. And they are expanding as well. They're opening another restaurant in Winter Park, right on Park Avenue. And that's a pretty big deal.
It's a big deal.
That really
Definitely.
is. I was very excited for them.
Yes.
Wonderful people, wonderful food. And upstairs was formerly the Apex, which was an event space, and that has now been converted to the Neighbors.
Right.
And tell me about that space.
So that space, the team up there did phenomenal with when you first walk in and you see how pretty all the murals is and bright, and it's like a flash of Florida instantly. It's like bright colors and the beautiful light coming in from that side of the building. They always have beautiful natural light from there. They have a bar with really excellent craft cocktails, and they make all their own little garnishes and everything, and like all self-made. They also have beautiful retail from all local people here in Orlando. And it's great for me because I like to go down there and grab a quick gift if I have to go to a birthday party or something. And like, I have to get something, and I just run in there. It's really excellent. Jacob and his team did a really wonderful job. And then you have Camille, which is the chef table. And Chef Tong is very talented in what he does. And people you can see it's like an experience for them when they go to indulge in that dinner, and you sit there and you go through every dish, and each one is special than the next, and you just sort of like wowed by whatever comes after that. So it's like, I think it was much needed up there, and I'm really happy with the change of that versus it being, I know we had it as a venue for a while, but I think this serves so much more to having that space be retailed over and a place for people to go and hang out and enjoy themselves even more so.
Absolutely. And so much versatility to the space as well. So that dinner experience, it's like a set menu, like a chef tasting experience kind of thing. And reservations are probably made online for that.
Definitely on their website.
I'm sure there's high demand as well. And that is another, unique experience that you don't get just anywhere. I love, at least at the opening of the Neighbors, the cocktails were named after the different Main Street districts, which is really special. I love that sort of, local love, and as you said, the murals painted by local artists and Florida themes, and some of the gifts are Florida themes. I love how Freehand has a lot of Florida stuff, which is really cool because, Florida gets a bad reputation, sometimes rightfully so, but I think that, we love celebrating the things that make Florida unique and special.
Definitely. And his shirts are really comfortable, not just to plug them.
They look really comfortable.
They are very soft and comfortable. So.
I need to get a shirt and I need to get a wallet because his wallets are amazing.
Yes, Seth makes those all by hand.
So cool.
Phenomenal.
So all these great gift ideas, all of this wonderful food, all of this just bringing the community together. What are some of the other events that are coming up that you're excited about?
Well, this weekend, we have the Filipino Fest Lo from Kaya and Jamie from Kaya, that they're going to be hosting that and having a variety of different vendors come for that. So it's really exciting. That's going to be this Saturday and Sunday from 4 to 8. So I'm excited for that because I think it's something unique that we're offering, like to a totally different base. And I just love that people can just try something new that they've never had before, and maybe it becomes a new favorite. And I just love that. So that's another community thing we have coming on for that. We're going to have another exchange later in the summer month. So that should be coming out soon. And I know we'll have stuff in the works for fall that we're in the middle of planning for now. So stay tuned for that, because we always have something going on that's going to be fun.
It's the best time of year to be outside in the fall.
Yes.
We struggle through summer a little bit, but I think we all kind of know what we've signed up for in Florida. So we just power through it, get a cold drink, seek shade, all of those things. That's really wonderful. I'm so glad to hear. And another exciting development coming up is the crosswalk and the pedestrian traffic light that is in the process of going in now. And I mean, I know people from the neighborhood love going to East End, but it's, just logistically, it can be a little tough to walk there.
It is very scary. Yeah. I'll be real with that. I mean, I love Park Ave CDs and I want to go over there all the time. And sometimes I just don't, because I'm afraid of crossing the street. So I have to take the car and go on my way home. Right. Because I don't want to cross the street. So understandably, totally.
And those little changes, really can make such an impact on the amount of traffic, to and from, and people driving less because they feel safe and comfortable walking. And I know that has always been something that the district has struggled with. And we're all very much looking forward to Corinne Drive being revamped. But this midsection crosswalk project
is a game changer.
It's going to be a game changer.
Yes, for sure.
And I'm glad that they waited until school was out before they began construction. That was very smart. And how have you seen kind of the amount of traffic coming in there change because of the school? Have you noticed any trends with that?
Yes. So when it's pickup time, especially in the morning, things can get stacked up because some of the children do ride their bikes or walk and need to be crosswalked across. So it holds up traffic just a little bit for the turning to try to, pass through Corinne, especially if you're going left toward Baldwin.
Right.
It's pretty hard to kind of hit it just right. But other than that, I think that just the upcoming changes will be a better thing for sure. And I think it'd be safe too for kids. Some of them are alone on their bikes and it makes me so nervous watching them cross. I'm just like, oh my goodness. So yeah, other than that, the stacking up in the mid-afternoon, other than that, it's better. It hasn't been too bad.
Excellent. And so tell me about your online branding, Cup of Charming.
Oh, yes. A Cup of Charming is my website. I've had that, oh my goodness, for over a decade. It's basically recipe, travel, and just Orlando fun stuff that I throw up there from time to time. I originated that a long time ago when I was still living in the Northeast. I would want to recreate dishes from Disney World at one point so that I could have a memory of my vacation in the cold winter months while it's snowing and freezing and you want Ohana noodles. Mm-hmm. So I revamped that to try to replicate these recipes so that people can have them at home to get a little bit of that at home. And then a lot of it too, I was using it toward helping local businesses on, sharing their stuff on Instagram and being able to, say, hey, this is open. You should go try them out, and trying to get some cross traffic to some new people. And it's just a lot of fun.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's a really great website. And I love the love for Disney, especially when locals here have that. I mean, it really is something special. It's, like anything, it's not perfect, but what they do there is pretty fantastic. And it does bring people in from all over the world. It has really shaped Orlando, as I think East End has. And, I think that there is kind of a sharing of, it brings people here and then they're like, okay, what else is in Orlando? And then, they come over here and they realize I can spend the whole day in this district. I can go visit Lou Gardens. I can hang out at East End. Can have multiple meals there. It's easy to spend the day in the district, and we're really happy that East End is such a big part of that, bringing people out and, having return customers as well.
Definitely. We love being here. We love being in this neighborhood. I think that what makes it so special is the surrounding area here and the local businesses that we share Corinne with. I mean, they're pretty remarkable people, and I love shopping in their places as well, or dining in, like, with Sugar Bakehouse is here now.
Mm-hmm. Sugardale, yes.
Yeah, they're so good.
So
oh my
good.
Goodness.
I can't wait to talk to them too.
Oh,
yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ashley, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
It was really great talking to you.
Thanks, you too.
Take care. Hello APGD, a neighborhood podcast, is brought to you in part by Stardust Video and Coffee, Audubon Park's beloved neighborhood cafe, bakery, bar, and meeting place, located at 1842 East Winter Park Road. We are also sponsored by Red Light Beer Parlor and Brewery. Founded in 2005, Red Light is widely known as the source for world-class imports and microbrews, a wide selection of natural wines, plus award-winning beers brewed in-house. A full kitchen is in the works with an amazing menu by Chef Jess Tantalo, so stay tuned for that. Located at 2810 Corinne Drive, please check out Red Light for all things beer and wine, and soon food. Our theme song is by Christopher Pierce, and special thanks goes to Trey Hester for mixing the episode and for all of his help in making this podcast a reality. We do hope you enjoyed this episode. If so, please click subscribe and leave a review if you'd like. We'll see you next time.